All right, so how shadowy really is this? Let's see. It looks kind of shadowy. I have something shiny on the table. It looks like there's a shadow. If there's no shiny thing, it doesn't look like a shadow, does it? I guess that's logical. Then I guess that's a reason to take everything out of the packaging, right? It's just not as exciting if it's not in the packaging. Okay. Should I put on some music? Mr. Whiskers thinks so. Doobie-doo as I go around and knock things over. What's in here? Oh, this is... Who wants to paint with a stick? That would be fun. Layers of stuff in front of my stuff. Black paint. Where's black paint? Oh, right there. Let's see. If anybody's here, say hi so that I know you're here and I'm not just talking to myself. But talking to myself is cool too, because this just means it's my time to craft. For an hour, or hopefully maybe even not that long. Ooh, that's really blurry. All right. Let's do my timer in a few minutes. I was thinking I would play with, oh, you know what we could do? Oops. Oops, a few. I have the window on, curtain open to let some light in. I have my light shining, my big light. See, I think that is metallic. Penny, Gilt, that's a good one. These all kind of seem to ancient to correlate with her sprays, which is awesome. Carnation, these are sort of the, oops, can't see it. These are sort of the pastel and metallic a little bit. I call them metallic. Sterling. Those look metallic to me. Aloe, mineral, heather. What's this one? Sand. Those are fun. Play with those in a little bit. Somewhere. Yeah, I thought it'd be fun to try, doing something with these Silhouette stencil masks. You know, just for kicks. Maybe something on the gel plate today. I was hoping somebody would join us so that I could actually have somebody telling me what to do, because I like crafting when people are telling me what to craft, but that's okay. I don't have to be joined by anybody. I'll just chat, and I hope you can hear me okay, because I don't know if you can or not. And I hope you can see what's going on. Okay. Let's see here. I don't know if you can hear my cat in the background making funny noises, playing with his toy. Ooh, somebody's here. If you're here, say hi. If it's not me, I don't know if it is or not. Okay, so I have my gel plate. It is the 5x7 gel press. I have some of the Dina Wakley masking stencils, the Silhouettes, one of her new masking stencil sets. I have some book paper. I have some white paper. I have another stencil that I grabbed. I have some metallic-ish kind of scribble sticks, some water, and I have, that's about it. The thing about stencils is when you do stencils, you tend to have to do, or stencils are like a mask or like a silhouette. You're going to do one dark background, and then, or the silhouette part is really the dark part. So now what I'm thinking about is, where do I want to apply this stuff? If you're here and you're watching, say hi so I know who you are. If you're not here and you're not watching, then don't say anything. Okay, let's see. This is my mop-up journal, so I wouldn't put it in there, right? Okay. This is my Book of Flow book from a class-ish with Jenny Grant. So I don't really have any pages in here that are really set up for working on, but we can try it. Let's try it. I'm not using it yet because these weren't quite right for this. So I have a piece that's black. That's perfect because that's like I said, the stencil, when you use a mask, I'm sorry, when you're doing a silhouette, you really want the black to be the silhouette, right? So then what can I do? I can do, how do I want to do it? Oh, they're taped up. Okay. That's helpful, sort of. Alrighty. We do. Okay. I'm thinking. Thinking time. Okay. So this black background, and if I put the mask down, not the stencil will give me the square part with the back outline like that. But if I put the mask down like this, then everything that I put around it, the problem will be that it will stick and I'll probably never be able to get it off the page. But for now, that'll work. So then what I would like to do is I would like to, let's see, we can't really do anything that's going to be sticky because it will be. So let's just try some paint. Paint's a little sticky, but let's see. I wonder what color I should use. I wonder what color Anna's going to use when she always uses, oh, I could use purple. Purple could be interesting. Oh my gosh, you guys have to see this purple. This is called Opal Magic. It is so cool. And it was perfect for this black background. Except, I didn't glue that in there. Yeah, I'll show you on this one. I think that'll work. You know what? I'll do it on this one instead. I'll just go for it. Let's just go for it. All right, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how this looks. It's so cool. This paint looks blue. And if you put it on a plain surface, like a brown surface, I believe, a lighter surface, it will look blue. That's why it's called, the color is blue violet, or blue, yeah, blue violet. My two favorite colors, two of them. I like green though. Okay, so you take a little bit of paint. Where's my, I'm just gonna use a palette knife. I never know how to get the paint out of these jars. That's my problem. That's my problem. And let's put it on here. We got to stand up. So you put it on here. If you have a brayer and it ever decides that it doesn't want to spin, check to make sure that it doesn't need to be pushed over, because sometimes it just needs to be pushed over. Okay. It actually kind of looks purple when I put it like that. So when you put it on the black, look at the difference. See here, it's kind of blue purple, but here it is super purple. And some of the blue, I don't know why, but it kind of smeared out. So, but if I was to just do this on the paper, it's mostly blue. Can you see how pretty shiny that is? Okay, that stuff is very cool. Okay, it's all over my hands. All right, so now we're gonna take, I'm gonna take my favorite, one of my favorite Tim Holtz stencils, and we're gonna lay it down like this. I'm just gonna try this. See? And because there's a mask there, that wasn't exactly where I was going for to actually have the thing, but all right, I think I'm going to need, around her, I'm going to need, and him, I'm going to need a lot more, a lot darker paint, but it's just fun to see what it looks like when it's purple, when it looks blue. I think that's very cool and fun. The stencil part didn't quite work the way I wanted it to, but that's okay, because that's how we learn things, right? We play and we learn, and then we do more. Ooh, maybe it'll just kind of blend in. We'll see what happens. It's cool that you can still see the stencil behind it. She's gonna have a dot on her head because of that tape, but that's okay. This goes along really well with, see how it's blue over here and it's purple over here? I think it's so cool. Same paint. This goes along really well with our purple of color of the month challenge, doesn't it? So, and here's my cat saying hello. And I'm pretty sure, I bet you $1 he'll jump up on the table in just a minute here and probably knock something over. Dear Mr. Person, I hope that we get a clean mask, because it's gonna look really cool if we do. This is a makeup sponge from the dollar store. You can buy a package of them for $1 of like a million. So, I don't sell anything like that. I have blending things, but I don't have anything that special, that fancy. Oh, goodness. How interesting. Okay. doesn't really do anything. That's fine. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But look, on this plate here, there is still a lot of really cool paint. And we talked about this, I think, on Tuesday, is that it is very warm here today, especially. It's getting warm again, and so the paint just dries like super speedy fast here. Usually you would think, like I would think Houston's very humid, but it's always been an issue that the paint just on the plate will just dry really fast. I don't have an issue with it drying like on the page or in the jar, just on the thing. This one's pretty. I don't know how to put it on the plate. So Finnabair Prima has, they have acrylic paint that comes in a little container, you know, flip top cap kind of deal. But it's kind of pricey for what it is. So I don't know. I have to look at it some more and decide if I really want to invest in that for the store. If you want to buy the acrylic paint from Finnabair, let me know, because I will be happy to buy it if you guys want it. I already have several acrylic paint options in there, and I don't want to get too many. All right, so what I was going to try to do here was, it's very interesting that that dried on the stencil. I was going to try to do another stencil like this. That is going to have an interesting result because it's got that, yeah. Let's see. Aha, it didn't do anything. Maybe it went on her side instead of going on his. You won't know until you try it, right? Okay, so let's see how these masks look. Let me pull them off. He kind of can't really see his face, but that's okay. Got a little smushed under his head. Hers got a little smushed under her head too. That's okay. And they both have bumps on their heads, which is fun. All right, well, that was a fun experiment. Let's see what else we can do. Do we need to turn on some music? This one. This one is Midnight Sky. I have a song from New Kids on the Block stuck in my head. The red step. Aha. Never been opened. This is like a blue purple. These are not interference though. This one's just has a little bit of a shine. It's called Metallic, I think. Metallic. but it's not interference like the purple blue is, the Opal Magic. Okay. My old standby, just plain old copy paper. That is some pretty dark purple stuff, huh? And it's got a little bit of that purple, the Opal Magic interference turned dark purple because it's on the dark blue background. So that's pretty cool. That's a neat effect. And now my gel plate's mostly clean. Ow. Let's see what else we can play with today. You know what, guys? These are just gonna go because these dots are just not gonna work out. I don't like them having bumpy heads. Sorry about that. All right, so if we do it like this on the purple, on the dark background, like this. I'm gonna put it like this, right? So it will block out everything else around it, and it will be blue. Let's see, do we have another page we can put it on in here? And then, because there's paint, okay, you know what? I have to put the lid on this, or else it's gonna just get everywhere. Better do some cleaning really quick so I don't get paint everywhere. Okay. So, since there's paint on this side, oops, I'm going to put that here like this. Then I'm gonna put one here to cover up that. I only want, oh, see, it already came off. I only want that paint on my page. Gotta move stuff out of the way so I can actually do this. It's so silly. Okay, ready? Here we go. Let's see how that works. Let's see how smushy it gets. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a perfectly clean pull. Ooh, yeah. And it's backwards, but it's okay. It'll be okay. It'll be girl on the right and or left and man on the right. That's pretty neat. I like that better than the other one. Okay, so that's with the stencil. I like that a lot. Now what can we do with this? And didn't do squat. Thought it would do more. That blue didn't really pull up the paint the way I wanted it to. I didn't show up on the back on the dark background the way I wanted it to. There we go. That's how I wanted it to look. That's really cool. Very grungy. All right. That's what I was going for, kind of. But I was hoping it would be on the dark background, but that's okay. Because it can't, because it's too light to show up. Alrighty, so then we've got this guy. What can we do here? Should we put a little bit of paper on here? I don't really know. I don't usually put the thingy on the very end. Let's see. Don't usually put the, where's my glue? Oh, here it is. Focal point at the beginning. Should have probably thought about that. I just wanted it to be the dark thing. My timer stopped. So I had a customer ask me about how to get started with mixed media and what kind of supplies are good to just, if you're just starting out and you really have nothing other than just some scrapbook paper. And so it made me kind of think, hey, I really should. She said, do you have a starter kit? And I was like, well, no, but doesn't mean I can't make one. So it started to make me think. I've had that question before about where do you really start when you just want to, when you're just getting started. And there is actually a couple of good YouTubes out there, videos. One of my favorite YouTubers, I haven't seen her in a while, but Adele from Inky Quill has a whole video, at least she does, I'm sure tons of other people do, on the supplies that you can use for art journaling and mixed media. And it's interesting because with art journaling, mixed media, you really don't need a lot of supplies. You can start with glue and paper. You can use any kind of glue. You can use school glue, and just junk mail from literally from the junk mail, from the recycle bin. And so that's something just to think about, because you don't have to have a lot of supplies. I can suggest supplies. I can suggest a lot of supplies. It's good to have a palette knife. It's good to have some gesso. It's good to have matte medium for your glue, but you can also get other medium, gel medium. This is actually gloss medium. It's not matte. I've been trying to find matte medium for the store and I'm having trouble getting it. Unless I buy like a large container like this, and I was really trying to find more like bottles. But you can always put it in your own bottle too. It's just, this kind of a container is a higher price point. So I was trying to be sensitive of price. But you can use this kind of container. This is a good glue, and will work, and it will dry matte, which is good. So I've thought about using that. It's called PPA instead of PVA. If you want to do collage. If you don't want to do sticky things, if you don't want to, if you don't really want to rip up a book or anything like that, like I do, if you're not really interested in tearing up books, then you can actually buy a new journal, like the Dilutions journal that I use as what I call my mop-up journal. This is I painted the cover, but it's a Dilutions journal, and it's brand new white. She actually has journals that are already printed with her designs on the inside. So if you don't like plain white backgrounds, or cream background, you can just buy hers that already have, I think it's called the Jumpstart Journal, and I have one in the store in the bigger size. Or something like the Dina Wakley black journal, media journal, or she has a blue one also that has denim pages. While this dries, I'll just chat about this a little bit. So this journal, I got this when I first bought the store, because we have a whole bunch of them in the store, and I thought, oh, this is just so neat, and I just love it, and so chunky, and I didn't know that you really shouldn't start from the front and work your way back, because it just ruins the spine. So you should probably just do random pages throughout, but you can do whatever you want to do, but it just helps if you spread the thickness out throughout the book. But this book has different kinds of substrates. It has burlap, it has canvas, and it has what's like her, like, watercolor media paper. So yeah, and the burlap is a little challenging to work with, but after you get to know it, get more comfortable. Oh yeah, it also has craft paper. I don't think I've used any of the craft yet, but this is with the plain, it's like a cotton, I want to say it's like a cotton paper. So it takes water a little bit better. If you want to use wet media, it'll work with that a little better. It won't wrinkle, but wrinkling is kind of fun. So like this one is just all done with, it's a little collage of a napkin. So yeah, you could get a journal that's a commercial journal if you want and don't want to use an old book. Then I would recommend getting one of these. I also like to use old books and just pull out some of the pages and work in that. Actually, I have this one that's actually a children's book, and I just bought it for $1. It was going to be thrown away or burned or whatever they were going to do with it. I don't think they were even going to recycle it. And I added some pages. I just used tape and I added some pages of scrapbook paper in here and some little random junk things, right? Like this is actually a envelope. And then I just kind of go crazy. I haven't used this journal in a long time. That was my birthday. It was my birthday, and we did early voting in October. So that's kind of fun. If you take an old children's book, you could take one that means something to you or has a special real reason, meaning, or you can take a book that was going to be thrown away or, you know, go in a landfill or go in the dump or whatever word you want to use, and you can give it a little bit of new purpose by painting on it. And I mean, this story is hilarious. Actually, the illustrations, I just love the cat. He's so funny. I try to highlight the cat every time that I go in and I paint, although not every time, but a lot of times. I noticed that the cat was just really funny, so I tried to highlight his emotion in there. So, yeah. So you can use a book, and you can just, you know, work from there. Or you can make your own journals. Oops. So, this is one that I'm sure I've shown before. And it's just made out of a bubble mailer from Amazon. I have so many of those saved. And then this is junk mail and some watercolor paper. So nothing in here is precious. It's all stuff that would have been recycled or thrown away if it couldn't be recycled. And now I have added paint to it and collage, and it's a place where if I ever come back to it, I just, like I said before, I'm not really good at, I really like to do backgrounds. Let me put it that way. It's not that I'm not good at. I do backgrounds, I do paint, and then I move on, and I don't really worry about the next thing. I like playing with the color. Like here's a yellow page, right, from last month. Did add myself a little, I should move this up. I did add a little focal point there. I really love that girl. So I added some texture paste in here. So there's that journal. I have another book. This one I made when I was first starting with art journaling and junk journaling, and I got an old book and I pulled the pages out, and then I covered the entire book with tissue paper from a pattern that I don't sew, but I really like to use pattern paper because it reminds me of my background in sewing. Oh my gosh, I did not know you guys were commenting. I can't see them on my, can't see anything on here. I'm so sorry. There it is. Oh my gosh. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for being here and commenting. And I'm so sorry that I did not know that you were even there. Thank you, Sharon, for joining, and for and anybody else who's here. Oh, good idea, Sharon. I don't have, about this adhesive dot runner, I don't have temporary one. I only have permanent. So it could work to hold the mask down. Oh my gosh, everybody. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know how to turn my volume up. You might have to turn the volume up on your side if you can't hear me. I can't see the comments on my tablet. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep rambling, and I'm so sorry. I'm gonna look at my phone now, not at my tablet, because my tablet doesn't show me any comments, which is lame. Why is that? There it is, but it doesn't stay. Okay. So yeah, this is a book I made recently. I love using pattern paper. I love using music paper because I played the flute for 8 years of my life, or 7 years, and so maybe 8. So it means a lot to me to use music paper. And this is all junk paper too. Okay, it is some paper from a book that I did. Oh, I did take the pages out of a book. It was a art history or architecture book, and so I pulled out the pages, and it probably had 500 pages in it, and they're small, but I've used it because I love the black and white images, and I love the floor plan. This is from a book too, of math stuff, because who's gonna care about that? It's all retired thing, you know. I buy it from the sale section, so I'm trying to just give it life. This is actually a Hallmark bag. Isn't that pretty? I know I flipped through this before. I'm sorry, I don't want to ramble about this, but here's my purple page from Tuesday. There's that girl again. She's popular in this journal. So yeah, there's lots of different things you can do when you're getting started, and you can definitely use things you have around you. And as far as what I have that I could, for a getting started set, I think you could definitely get started with some sort of glue if you're going to do collage, and if you're interested in doing that. And then I think that stencils are always a good idea if you want to go down the stencil path. You could do this kind of stencil, or with the mask. I love the ones that are just, oops, I don't know where I put it. The geometric from Tim Holtz. A lot of his stencils are very nice and geometric. They make really good backgrounds. All of Dina's from her new release are very good, I would say, for backgrounds, or just putting texture marks on a page. So those are all in the store, and pretty soon I'll have a page set up in there that says, if you're new and you want to start art journaling or mixed media, click here and see the different suggested products. Not that you have to go with those, but, you know, suggested. You know, it's not bad. Not a bad idea to have some acrylic paint. I like the Amsterdam paints. I have several in the store. I have a lot of Dina Wakley's paints. I have a lot of, pretty soon I'm going to have some just normal old, deco art? Paint. There's little flip top caps. I'm going to have some of that in the store pretty soon too. So, I mean, there's distressed paint. You can use this. I don't always know that it works the best on art journaling, because again, it's water-based, or reacts to water. Sharon, you said stamps. Yeah, script stamps. I have a lot of those that I really love. I actually have them. I have some that I go to every time. Of course I don't know where they are right now, but yeah, they're around. But I have some in the store that are like little ones that are like this big that are from Prima. That's a good idea. I'm going to put that on my list too. Of course, the gel plate, I use that all the time in my mixed media stuff, because it's just handy to have something that you can play with the paint on one place and then bring it over onto your background, instead of just doing it flat out on your page. Unless that's what you want to do. If that's what you want to do, then of course do it, right? That's how I fly. Oops. You know what you should not do is put wet stencils on top of paper, because then it will stick. Okay, so I think this is dry now. So, oops. Well, that wasn't. Something to show how to use pretty napkins. Okay. Sharon, you said use pretty napkins. Let's see. Sure. I have a lot of napkins because I hosted a napkin swap. You know why? I bet that the sound was not very good before, because I was sitting down and my phone was above my head, and so that's probably why it was hard to hear me. So, let's see. Now you're gonna, it's like a quiz. Can I fire my napkin stash? I have a napkin stash. Because I hosted a swap. I'm willing to host another one. I'm trying to see if I have any purple napkins. I'm sure I do. And, ooh, that's kind of pretty. So yeah, so basically what people did was they said, yes, I want to be in the swap. And then I gave them my address and they mailed them. They put in a bag, they put in a certain number of napkins. They don't even have to be the same napkins. They can be 10 different napkins. But the idea is that when you get them back, you're going to get 10 more different napkins. So if you send me 10 of all the same napkin, I'm going to swap it out with 10 people who also sent me 10 napkins, or however many they sent me. I'm cleaning up my desk because there's stuff everywhere. So, yeah. So I hosted this swap. I think we're going to go with this one. It's probably the most purple one I have. That's kind of pretty. It's more blue than purple, though. And also, I don't really know how it would look to have a big flower coming out of his head, but maybe on her head would be kind of cool. I could just put it on the opposite page or behind their heads. Yeah, next time I probably need to remember to do things before I put the mask down, but you know, okay. So when you're using a napkin, the important thing to remember about the paper napkins is that there are several layers here of tissue. Sometimes there's 2 here. So you have to separate the layers. And so that's the fun part. Pull the layers apart very carefully. You can save the white paint part because it's also tissue. That would also be perfect for collage, layering later. You can definitely do that for texture. That would make some really neat texture. All right, and then you can decide what you want to use, and if you want to. Now, I've found that tearing does not always work. Sometimes it does because it has a grain, and so sometimes it's hard to tear it the way you really want it to be torn. See? So sometimes it's better to cut it. But if you really don't want to cut it, then you just tear it. What if we did it down here? No, that would totally cover up his face, wouldn't it? Okay, let's put it up here at the top. Okay, so the cool thing about using a napkin, and I can't say that it's going to happen with this one, but we'll try it. It should just become translucent so that you should be able to see the paper, the words behind. I don't know, but we're going to see if it happens or not, okay? So I'm putting down the matte medium, or gel medium. Sorry, it's not matte, it's gloss. I'm just going to put this down just like I would with any other collage. Just like I do with the Dina Weekly. And then, oops, well, that's okay. Oh, my flower went away. That's okay. Maybe you should do it gently. I'm a little bit out of practice with napkins. That's okay. I embrace the unknown. I embrace the oops. Because guess what? It doesn't have to look like a flower. I like that better. Yeah, Michelle, I remember you liking purple. I remember that being a thing. I don't know. It helps if you're in Minnesota because the Vikings are purple. Doesn't mean that you like the Vikings. It just means that you like purple. All right, so there we go. So can you see how that napkin just kind of melted into the background here? Probably need to push that down a little more. And yeah, it's delicate. I'm sorry about my cat. He wants attention. If you can hear him. So don't push on it too much unless you really want the grungy look, right? There's some pieces here that are just bunched up. But I can see the text behind it, and I really like that. I really love that effect. Okay, so what I think I'll do is, because I still have gel medium on the thing, I'm going to grab another part of this napkin. So the funny part is I got these napkins for the swap, and do you want to know how many times I've used it? Used one? Probably about 3. Oh yeah, Prince and Purple Rain. So that goes to show you that even though I had a swap and I hosted the swap and I have all these napkins to use, not that I didn't have a bunch before, but the funny part is, like, you know, you're out, you see some napkins and oh, they're so pretty, or you're at the lovely Tuesday morning where we all love to shop. Well, I used to, but I don't go there anymore because it's too dangerous. But for me, as far as I will spend money there that I should not be spending because I own a dang store that sells half the stuff that they sell Tuesday morning. Although they don't sell a lot of craft stuff there anymore, but they used to. And so you sometimes Tuesday morning or TJ Maxx or one of those places will have napkins. You know, the nice, pretty, these kind of pretty napkins that come like this in a set of like 25 or 24 or however many comes in a set, right? But who really needs 24 of the same napkin? So that's why I hosted the swap, because I figured we could all get different ones if we just wanted to swap them out. Big rain cloud. You know what? That's true. It does kind of look like a rain cloud. Guess what? One of my favorite scenes is from Pride and Prejudice when they're standing in the, in the newer movie with Keira Knightley, when they're standing in that old stone structure out and it starts to rain. And it kind of looks like this, right? They're standing very close and they're kind of talking to each other. So maybe I'll have to find his, a quote from the movie that happens at that time. I love that movie. That's what this always reminds me of. It reminds me of that, and it reminds me of Star Wars when they're standing, you know, I love you, I know, that whole thing. Leia and Solo. Han. So, the only thing I recommend is that if you put gel medium on a page and you want to go to another page, that you put something in between it so that it doesn't stick. What? My cat, he's so funny. The rain scene in Sound of Music. Oh, I'd have to go back and watch that one. I haven't seen Sound of Music in a very long time. So there we go. That looks pretty cool. And for now, I didn't even think of it really looking like rain or anything, but it's kind of grungy, which I love, the grungy look. So that was, I mean, I wasn't really planning to do that. I was really hoping to do something with this one, but I don't really like how that looks. So I'm going to probably end up, I don't know what I'm going to do with that one, but we'll figure it out. So I'll figure something out with these guys. Maybe I'll add something more later. Maybe we'll leave it how it is. But I love the way this blue napkin, that was a good suggestion, Sharon. Thank you for just suggesting that. And let's see. I feel like you suggested, oh yeah, your gel plate intimidates you. Okay. Do not be intimidated by your gel plate. There is nothing. It's just paint, right? I know that's hard. I know that's not nice. That's kind of belittling. And I hate it when my husband does that. Oh, it's just the program. Just do it. Just play. But just give yourself a chance to put some paint down. Watch some videos. That will help. Carolyn Doobie has a very great starter video on how to do gel plate. Use the gel plate. Or you could just watch mine. But, or, you know, we can do gel plating together. I'm going to do a crafty live on Sunday on Zoom. So if you're not on my newsletter and you want to know about the crafty live on Zoom, get on my newsletter and the link is on my Facebook page. And, you can, to join the crafty Zoom on Sunday. I want to try to do it. I'm going to try to log in for part of the day. And then you can just drop off if you want. You don't have to talk, show your face. You don't have to do a video. You can just, you know, maybe just come on and say hi or something, or just do in the chat, whatever you want to. Oh, good. You do watch Carolyn Doob. Yeah, she's awesome. She's very playful. She's just, oops, right? What is it? Outstanding opportunity for whatever her oops thing is. Perfect. Presenting suddenly. That's what it is, right? Outstanding opportunity presenting suddenly. So Carolyn Doobie is very good. She's where I learned how to do gel plate printing mostly, besides just playing with it. I mean, I always said, oh, I want to do it, but I want to do it on fabric. And then somebody said, well, just do it. Like, don't worry about how to do it right or wrong. There's no right or wrong to it. There's a lot of people on Instagram there's actually a challenge going on right now with Brigitte Cooperson for Jelly Arts, which is the other company that does gel plates. I don't have a Jelly Arts because I can't buy them from my wholesale supplier, so I just buy the ones from Gel Press, which is fine. They're the same thing. But Jelly Arts has a good channel, and they have a lot of instruction going on. And right now they have a daily challenge So you might want to try looking at the daily challenge that they have. I think the one today is actually stamp. So I might go and I might try doing some stamps on my gel plate. You could do a stamp with this, right? That's what I did the last time. And doing a daily challenge like that, even if you don't do it every single day, is fun because it gives you a little bit of a it gives you a little bit of a prompt to do something every day. I know, Michelle, it is fun. Oops. And so that's how I look at it when I'm doing art. Dina Wakely is the same way. She actually has a demo tomorrow for her gloss sprays that she's going to do that are not things you can do with gloss spray that's not spraying them. So if you watch that, that's tomorrow at like noon Central Time on her Facebook page. So I'm going to try to watch that. But so yeah, I just say it's just a matter of you have to kind of have a day or a little bit of time that you say, I'm just going to play with my gel plate today, and I'm going to put some paint on it and use some old copy paper, some old scrap paper that I got out of the recycle bin, and I'm just going to see what happens. And then once you give yourself that permission to do that, it's kind of like, hey, this is fun. And my little inner child and my little inner kindergartner is just having so much fun that they don't want to stop. Now, let me tell you, once you start mono printing, I always say there's nothing mono about mono printing. They call it mono because it's just this one plate. But there's really nothing singular about it, because once you start it, you will want to just keep going forever and ever. And you will need to have lots of room to put all the papers that you're going to print and all the things so that they can dry in between printing. Or you end up putting them off to the side and things get stuck to them. But, you know, I love to just take copy paper. This is literally scrap paper from my store, and that I from pick lists and inventory sheets and stuff that I have from my store, and I just have a whole pile of it and I just use it. And I find copy paper is a very good place to print on. So I love printing on copy paper. You can use it later as collage, and it pulls the paint really, really well. So I like copy paper, and I use the old book pages too. So just there's lots of different options there. And so that's my little speech about gel press plate printing. You can always email me or reach out to me on Facebook or whatever if you want to, if you have questions. I'm sure Carolyn would also be willing to help you. Have I used deli paper? Absolutely. I love deli paper. A whole box of it. I have barely even scratched the surface of this deli paper. How many sheets of this? 500? Yeah, I've been using this for over a year. I love to put it inside in between the pages in my books. Like this, to separate the papers. And then I also love to print on it. So I have tons of paper like that I print on. I was actually, and this isn't my favorite, but I stamped an image. This is a stamp of a face. This is from the Bare Faces stamp from Danielle Mack. And so I stamped the face, and then I was practicing shading a little bit and adding the neck and that kind of thing. And so that's deli paper. It's just fun to stamp on. Yeah. I have more somewhere that I took all her, I have another stamp set that's called Art Journaling Prompts from her. Art Journaling Prompts. And I took all of these and I used my precision press and I stamped them on deli paper so that I can just easily tear them up and collage them down. And they'll probably blend in and you'll never be able to see them, but they work for me. So that's the plan for those. I have those somewhere. I like to just do that. If I think I want to, instead of stamping directly on the paper, this is what I've learned, that it's easier to stamp on something else. And then you can just say, oh, I want to put that here, right? Oh, I think this would look really great right here. And I can just collage that down, and then it will blend in, you know, so. And yes, it does disappear. It melts. It melts into the background, just like just a lot like Dina Wakley's tissue or the napkins do. It just melts in. I think on this one, so I was doing this weekend retreat this a couple weekends ago. Is it this one that I did it? No, it wasn't this one. From Jenny Grant, and yeah, here it is. I took a piece of deli paper and I squished it so that it was kind of three-dimensional, and then I glued it down with matte medium or whatever, gloss medium, so that it would actually, can you even see how much texture, how three-dimensional that is? So yeah, and then I painted over it. Yeah. So, okay, Sharon, I will help you with that. I will help you let go of your perfectionism, because, and anything from Jenny Grant would be great for that. She's to me, very inspiring to watch her work. She does to me, this is her kind of work. Grungy, collage, paint, and then add the face where you see it in the paper, in the page. This is all kind of inspired by the retreat that she hosted free weekend 2 weekends ago. So she keeps saying over and over in her thing, she'll say, let go of being perfect. Don't worry about the outcome. Just be in the flow. Just be in the moment. And I like that, because that's how I work. I don't plan stuff out. You know, I'll put something on the page and say, okay, I think I want to play with purple. I want to play with these masks. Let's see what happens. And then this is what I end up with. And I'm like, I don't really like that. Let me see what else I can do. And then that's when we go and we end up with this one that looks really pretty wherever it went. You know? And so that's where we go. Okay, so I think that I hope you guys don't mind me that I've just been ranting today about all random things, but you know, I like a captive audience, so you're kind of captive. You can leave whenever you want to, really. But I think that all this really probably needs is like a phrase of some sort, probably a thought bubble or some sort of words. Maybe not. Maybe it'll stay how it is. Like I said, I like to do backgrounds, so we'll see. And then I hope that you will come back and join me next week on Friday for another Facebook Live. Also, like I said, I really want to host a crafty day on Sunday. I know it's Mother's Day, but hopefully that means that we can say, hey, I'm a mother and I want to go have some fun doing something for myself today and spend some time. So thank you, Sharon. So hopefully you can join me on Sunday for a little bit of craft time, even if you just pop in and say hi. And the best way I think to do it is on Zoom, so that people can join, and it's a private Zoom, so nobody else will be able to join unless they have the permission to get in. So, so I think that's about all, and I'm going to wrap it up. If you have any more suggestions for me for next week, absolutely keep those in mind, and I would love to just craft along with you and have you tell me what to do and play, because to me that's the most fun and interactive, and I love making connections with people. Oh look, I found one of my, here they are, I found them. Squirrel brain, crafty squirrel. This is hard to see, but it is a text stamp script. See, it's just writing. Actually, it probably goes like that. And then this one is a wooden one. So I could add that later. That would be really pretty. I don't think I have that one in the store, but this one I do. This is a Prima. And then something like these that are texture-ish looking. I have a lot of texture stamps from Prima, and from Indigo Blue is a good one that I have that does texture and that kind of deal. So, and actually I have some Tim Holtz stamps like that too. So he has some good background scripty stamps. I love he has a lot of really good background stamps. So, all right, I'm going to sign off now that my squirrel brain has seen the scripty stamps, and we will see you hopefully Sunday. If not, maybe next Friday. All right. Have a good Friday and a good weekend. Bye-bye.